Bonjour.
Guten Tag, Benjamin.
Guten Tag. And the
How's
music.
my background today? I'm at a box.
Yeah, I immediately have to think of chess somehow. And whenever I think about chess lately, I think about a big victory that I have achieved against this guy.
It always amazes me, Benjamin, how you have such an amazing memory. I mean, even at your age, you're still able to remember these things and keep bringing. Fantastic. Kudos to you.
But
Life goals.
I mean, there's light at the end of the tunnel for you, because I know you're not bad with like spreadsheets and Excel and all that. And I know that also you have read the news that Excel is now officially an e-sport. Can you believe it?
I don't know about how official this officially is, but yes, I did. In fact, I watched the video of the championship. They brought 8, let's say, Excel superstars, or I don't know what the word appropriate word is. But yeah, one representing each country. I think it was the Canadian guy who won eventually. The New Zealander finished second. I think the Indian came 7th. I was like, man, they should have sent me.
Well, I mean, just think about it. The world we live in, you can participate in the virtual Olympics. You can play Excel as an e-sport. Fascinating.
Fascinating is one word for it. Yes. I mean.
What is the fascinating stuff that we're going to talk about today, Ron? I'm wondering.
Actually, Ben, we have a lot to talk about. Both of us, we do this every week. I do this on Thursdays. You do it through the week. There were a lot of stories that we want to get through today. So I'm going to jump in with the first one from our top 5 news stories. And this is an interesting one. We all know about Formula E, which has been a tremendous success. Alejandro Agag is somebody I really look up to. He's been an absolute pioneer in electronic sports. And yeah, he's got another one with some Saudi money. It is all about presenting. That's an extra sound going on. No, it's all about an electronic series which powerboats. Alejandro and another partner, along with the Saudi state, that's where they've raised money from. They're going to be launching this powerboat series in 2023. So don't hold your breath exactly. And I believe it'll run for a couple of years. This is the boat will look like. They had a very interesting kind of launch for it. Well, I would say launch video. Ben, you want to jump into?
I mean, I'm happy that they're virtual, so I don't really have to jump into it. But yeah, looks super cool, obviously.
No, I mean this is the virtual event, but at the end of the day, they're going to be live boats in the water, electronic boats going up to 50 knots.
Are you kidding me?
That's what's happening. Yeah, this is a real thing. It's not just purely. They're electric boats, but this is not an electronic series.
I thought it's virtual. I thought it's a bit like. I mean, drone racing is not the best comparison, but I thought they do some virtual racing in virtual worlds, like the metaverse and stuff.
No. These are real life boats, which are. I mean, it's another way of promoting. In fact, the introduction video, where they talk about it's all about creating awareness about water is our limited resource, and it says that by 2050 there will be more plastic in the water than fish and things like this. Sure, I of course agree with all those comments, but I feel like that's a bit of PR. But this race bird looks super interesting.
Yeah, I would definitely like to test it. I think I would rather wanna steer it myself than to be part of some guy who's gonna kill me in that race. But yeah, super curious. But first, I would prefer to go for, let's say, an surfboard, because those I really like.
Yeah, those we have to test. But Ben, are you saying you wouldn't trust me if I was at the helm of a powerboat?
You, of course. I was more thinking about, I don't know, a professional racer. I don't know. I mean, you're a big F1 guy. Would you, let's say, if Max Verstappen would offer you to race with him? I mean, through, let's say, Imola or whatever.
Man, are you kidding me? Instantly, of course, that would probably never ever happen. But I would love if that can happen at any point in my life, to be in a single seat. I mean, it wouldn't be a single seater because they do those kind of drive along. So they take another passenger in the Formula One car with a proper driver. I would love to do those. But yeah, to actually race one myself, oof, man, that would be insane.
Yeah, but no, cool stuff. I mean, Formula E was super successful, so why not also do something with boats? It's like the Peloton 4X, the E4X. I mean, I think it's something that obviously is gonna happen.
I see what you did there, Ben. There's a little Peloton 4X segue you've got, but I don't think that's the next story.
No, that's definitely not it. On to topic number 4 in our countdown. We are gonna talk about AT&T and them launching their brand new 5G innovation studio. So for those who don't know much about 5G yet, it's the newest, coolest, hottest mobile network technology. Actually, we're working on something in that field, which is going to be published in a few weeks/months. So watch out for that. But with this, to make it super short, with this new mobile technology, you have faster internet, much lower latency, and much more bandwidth, actually. So that's going to be super interesting, and there are going to be lots of use cases also in sports. And AT&T is one of the leading companies behind that technology, and they have established this innovation studio. And this little video here, they walk us through it and what the goal is and everything. And they also explicitly mention sports at some point, because for sports it also opens up a bunch of possibilities. For example, in the stadium you have your AR, VR experiences as one of the examples, but also at home you have a different viewing experiences and lots of cool stuff that that can be imagined in sports. And this studio is for testing, for creating prototypes to see what is possible with this new technology, because it's still early and still has to be established, because also the infrastructure, those little cell towers have to be built everywhere. And I think it's one of the first innovation centers just basically focusing on 5G. And I am super curious about the outcome of it. What does it have in store for sports?
Yeah, I think it's pretty clear that obviously, with no surprise, that it's the telcos who are taking the lead. Verizon has done a lot of work in the US already, 5G enabling stadiums, 5G enabled stadiums, I should say. In Germany, it's T-Mobile or Deutsche Telekom who have done a lot of work in this area. So yeah, lots of interesting applications. I'm super curious to maybe dive into the studio. Can we call it for testing? Is that a thing?
You can ask.
We can ask. That's an excellent thought, man. We can always ask, which is what we usually do.
But I'm looking forward to the next topic, by the way. I'm amazed that you can present it, because it's cool stuff.
I see. Well, this is the one we were talking about, Peloton 4X earlier, and this is the latest Peloton 4X Liteboxer, which is, as you can see from the heading, it's the Peloton of boxing. Just announced a Series A 20 million raise. Most interestingly, though, here is what Liteboxer can do. There is a video there which we'll be playing. Yeah, there you go. It's a device which you can stand up in your house and punch the crap out of, I guess, and have a good workout while you're doing that. In fact, it was launched only in October of last year, and it's been going really well. Boxing is actually, have you ever tried boxing, Ben, as a workout?
Would it surprise you if I would say no?
Well, maybe not so much, but also a little bit. You're an experimental guy. I've gone for a couple of boxing classes after I realized that I needed them. But
why?
Whole other story, man. Whole other story.
Bunch of bad decisions, or what?
Well, let's say there were people involved of the other gender. But But moving along swiftly. No, but I mean, Liteboxer is going to combine workout at home, topical connected fitness, music, which is a big thing, their personalization, personal workouts, all of those cool things that we know that Peloton offers. They're going to do it for boxing. I'd be really interested to try it on a. I wonder if we can get our hands on this product for a review.
Yeah, would be cool. Just a few observations. First of all those guys and ladies in the videos always have amazing apartments that make look at those devices even better. Like, look at this. I mean,
That is an excellent point. Yeah.
Whatever device you have looks good in there. And secondly, if you buy all that stuff, you also need a big apartment because it gets kind of crowded there. So at the end, I'm very curious about, I don't know, how many of those do you really need and which ones are the ones, and which are the ones that you might use in your gym, because I also expect the gyms have like a variety like standing there.
I think we've discussed this before. Maybe it was somebody else, but have you seen that there's an Instagram page which makes fun of / post pictures of people who put Peloton devices in their living room?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we saw this together, right?
Yeah.
Which is like all beautiful pictures of this Peloton in the middle of the living room, which is a living space, but now has been converted into a studio. Yeah, people really want to show off their fitness devices, it seems.
Absolutely. Do you know that I just realized that there was a comment in the chat section?
What are you saying? Who is interacting with us? Joe Calabrese, racing e-foils. Yeah. I don't think it's e-foils though. I mean, these are full power boats. But yeah, this is the direction. It's all, completely electronic power boats. That's what they're going for.
And I think there's, you are probably better in pronouncing this.
Hey Jayadev, thanks for tracking us as well. Hope you enjoyed the show. Guys, whoever else is watching, feel free to drop a comment.
Yeah. We see all of them. We're not so good in replying, but we can answer that. Sweet. Then I'm coming to topic number 2.
Yeah.
We are speaking about Apple, and Apple has announced their new iOS, their operating system for their iPhones, which is going to go live in Q3 this year. And part of that is a new so-called SharePlay API or function. And this is something very familiar to the people who have been watching us. It is very similar to, for example, what BT Sports had with their Watch Together function. Basically what it does, it lets you watch content together with your friends. There are a bunch of interesting details there. Let me quickly also switch to their developer platform, which is one of the interesting things. So they're opening it to developers. So you can basically build applications that then can use this SharePlay function. That is one part. But what's also interesting is that I think initially they partner with the NBA and their OTT platform, with Twitch, with TikTok, and a bunch of subscription services like ESPN, Paramount Plus, Hulu, HBO Max, which also means, I mean, at least the article says so, that if you have subscribed to something, you can also share that content to other devices, to your friends, and watch it together. So that basically means that only one person needs the subscription. And of course, like all the subscriptions within the Apple ecosystem, like the music and all other stuff, all of that can be shared. So it's a really interesting step in what Apple's development, I think. So basically, whatever subscription you have with them can then be shared with whichever partner they have. So yeah, it's the sharing economy, and now it's not just a feature from a company. It is built right into our phones that we use every day, and Apple is at the forefront of this. What do you think, Ron?
I think it's really cool. Now we're fully into the chat. Joe dropped another message. No, you're not interrupting, Joe. This is the point of this format. We're live and interacting. Glad you're an early adopter, and hope you bring in some more. So Joe, man, keep the chat going. But coming back to your point, Ben, we saw this recently, right, about Apple hiring a couple of people in very senior positions in the sports streaming video content area. They had somebody about a year ago, and there was a recent job posting that they put up. So Apple is clearly taking sports seriously, as is everyone amongst the FANGs. Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, etc. As a feature, yeah, of course, this watch together thing is something that we have talked about. Like, it would be because we end up watching sports remotely so often with people, with our friends who are in different parts of the world. I can't wait to try out a good solution. Tested out a couple free ones, and yeah, there's a bit of latency and that. I'm not on the Apple universe, but I think, is this the first time that Apple is being open? They're saying it's not just for Apple devices or Apple TV. Anybody without on any device can do it, right?
Yeah, I think in the article it says there, if you are not on in the Apple ecosystem, there is a shareable link somewhere. I don't know how exactly that works, but yeah, they're getting integrated there.
And Naman and Jaydev seem to agree. Yeah, Naman, I agree. Apple SharePlay is super cool. And Jaydev, yeah, that's the whole idea, to create social rooms. People are getting together and watching. I mean, maybe something similar to what the NBA did with their watch together parties. Yeah, on Twitch, and esports is one part of it, but for traditional sports as well. Lots of cool stuff that Apple is coming up with.
I never tried this, so I totally would. Yeah, so curious how that's going to look like. And also, what is in the article is that they seem to take care of that everything is in sync, which is always a struggle. So I don't know, would be bad if, I don't know, one would see a goal before the other, or those kind of things.
Yeah, dude, it's so annoying. Like, we do this all the time. I mean, because I watch a lot of football. I mean, United fan, for anybody who doesn't know this on this channel already, Manchester United, in only we trust. But when I'm watching games with my friends, like we're trying to watch games, we're always live chatting and stuff. I realized very early that I have to put my phone away. I can't chat with them anymore because they are always at least 10, 15 seconds ahead. So I'll see like a yay or a shit or whatever reaction to something. Man. So it's a bit annoying and I can't interact with them.
I had that as well. So I use the One Football app from time to time, and when I have the notifications on and I watch the game, sometimes one buzzes faster.
Yeah, that's happened to me. It's so annoying, right?
Yeah, indeed. But I would say let's move on to the top topic of this week.
Yeah, last story of the day, and it is about Amazon. We were talking about the fangs and Amazon getting serious about a related topic. Yeah, so Amazon Halo has been out for a while. We haven't got a chance to try it, Ben. We've been talking about this for quite a while now, I think. Which is, and for anybody who's not familiar with it, Amazon Halo is their wristband, their wearable device, which is without a screen. They kind of copied the idea you have to say from Move. So it's just the band without this little screen here, and it's just capturing a lot of analytics, which goes straight to your mobile device. So the band is just to capture data. Now what Amazon is doing with this Halo device is they're focusing on movement health. Now, what exactly is movement health? They have been nice enough to present a little video, which will hopefully play okay. But at the core of it, it's all about everyday movement. How you sit, how you stand, how you bend to pick up things, your groceries, all those basic activities, which is putting strain on your limbs. I think they call it your musculoskeletal side of your body, musculoskeletal system, yeah, MKS. So that's what Amazon is trying to address. So with this movement health initiative, using the Halo tracker, they want to measure this. They give you a bunch of exercises where you can track your core basic movement score. So on 100, you get a movement score. What do you have to do? You have to do a couple of squats. You have to do a couple of exercises. I don't know, Ben, if you saw, I think there are 5 exercises that you have to do. Maybe some jumping jacks and stuff. But they give you a movement score. And based on your movement score, they will tell you which are the areas that you need to improve on. So give you specific exercises. So customized, personalized training for you. Amazon taking fitness more and more seriously. Yeah, you can see the score that you get on that video. Yeah, just more guys taking the wristband more seriously, taking fitness more seriously as a whole.
I like it. I have to say, I wish that Apple would have this with the watch. And I would like to think that it's just a matter of time until they introduce something like this. Because it's a really good everyday feature. It's not just sports, it's your movement overall. And I mean, we've seen this quite often, this overlap of of sports and fitness and health overall. So they're all blending into each other somehow. Nice, nice recommendations there. I like the little mouse, and there's an ape, there's a lion.
Video recommendations. Yeah, it's a bit all over the place actually. There's some football, there's some Shaq. Yeah, interesting one. To finish that conversation off, I mean, yeah, Apple, Fitbit, both of them have already talked about introducing glucose meters, non-invasive glucose meters, into your devices. So that's a big trend that the wristband guys are talking about. We've covered on the show that Facebook has already been in talks about launching their own wristband tracker. It's clearly a space that everybody is taking very seriously. Joe agrees that he's glad we're covering.
I was about to ask, we should take the chat seriously because there was some comments there.
Yeah. Maybe we spend a couple of minutes addressing this. I saw something about the fight. Yeah, Joe, you mentioned. Did anybody watch? Ben, did you watch Mayweather versus Logan Paul?
Nope.
I mean, I didn't. It was like it started at like some 2 a.m. Our time. So yeah, no chance I'm staying up for that. But it was 8 rounds and it was super boring apparently and no result and super defensive. I mean, there is milking the money and then there is putting on a bad show to milk the money. Yeah. Not so good.
It's too much show for me, too much buzz and everything. I don't know.
50 million though they raised. Showtime was at $50 a piece, $50 on the pay-per-view. They had about 50,000, a million subscribers, so 50 million is what they raised, including they crashed their servers. They had more demand than expected. The last time this happened was for the Game of Thrones finale.
Yeah, just insane numbers. Crazy times we live in. I just have to say it again. Just checking what Joe says. Yeah, coming back to that SharePlay function that some content providers are afraid. I'm not sure if they're really afraid because I think they still have to agree with Apple that their content has to be or is allowed to be shared. So I think they're on the safe side there, I would assume.
Yeah, and, exactly. Good point.
And also the other thing that Joe was mentioning is that he said, I'm glad you guys are covering this type of stuff because you could say it's getting close to a line of what is in or out of the sports tech domain, which is actually a very good point because today we were shooting 2 videos for the Hello Sports Tech channel, talking about what actually sports tech is and the framework that we've been using, and that's gonna be out, I believe, next week Wednesday is gonna be the first episode, and then the week after is the second episode, like a little introduction series of what sports tech actually is. So good point there.
Yep, absolutely. Hey, John, glad you could join us. You've kind of come in at the end of the show. I hope you were there for most of it. If not, the replay will be out. But that's it from us, Ben. That's it for this week.
Yeah, and it's a good week for a couple of reasons. Because I think tomorrow the Euro 2020 is going to kick off, right?
Yeah, baby.
And I believe yesterday the NFL announced officially that they're looking to host an official game in Germany. So they're currently screening.
I missed that.
Yeah.
Nice. Did they say where? Which city?
No, they're screening locations also like stadiums which are capable of running this, which makes me believe that probably Berlin might miss because the Olympic Stadium is kind of oldish. So I think they will rather go with Munich or Frankfurt.
Allianz,
yeah. But fingers crossed, no matter where they're hosted, I'll try to get there.
Solid. All right, guys, I think that's it for this week. One question to whoever's left watching. Maybe let us know whether you like this music, or should we keep it? Should we change it? I'm a fan. I think some music is nice. I like to keep it alive, but let us know what you think.
I fully agree. To be honest, when we did that the first time last week, it disturbed me a little bit. But today I feel it's nice and chill. Yeah.
All right. Perfect.
Cool. All right. Done for this week. See you next week.